Hey everyone, it's Josie, and today is going to be a longer video, so prepare yourself. This week is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. I wanted to make a video for this specific week, so you may not be watching this video during Eating Disorder Week, and that's okay. But I wanted to make a video for this. It is just something that I really wanted to do. There were some things that I've been wanting to talk about and share in a little bit of my journey, and I didn't know when to do it. I never know when the right time is to talk about some stuff because I don't want to say anything until like I'm doing really well and moving forward. At the same time, I feel like there's things that are a part of my story. I still want to bring things up. I have talked about on other videos that I'm going to leave in the description below how the chronic illness has associated a lot of food anxiety, so I'm not really going to go over a lot of that. Today's main kind of thing here is how chronic illness management and eating disorder treatment are two completely different things. It is not tailored to people with both. My struggles with it, I don't know, my opinions, wherever today leads. I have notes here with me, but we'll see what happens. As well as some things that I have found helpful. I'm not saying this is going to help everyone because different things help people. Like I said, I've talked before about some stuff, and I've realized that the number of me saying that things did kind of start when I was 14 was actually when I was about 12. It was when I was in about 7th grade. So having the chronic illness be feeding into disordered like eating for a large chunk of time, and then having that kind of disordered pattern of eating when I was in about like junior and senior in high school, was doing okay with everything. And then whenever I graduated, I actually got very physically sick because of a infection that I had, and then that's when things really took off. It was like full-blown eating disorder mode from there. Everything kind of started from that 12-year-old standpoint. I guess it would be considered a relapse. Ended up happening when I was 18. I was good for maybe about 6 months. Now I do want to say that chronic illness is not the cause of my eating disorder. This has contributed to it. This has contributed to the fear of food. So if we like imagine a little whiteboard up here, right? So we're just gonna imagine this, and we're just like different things. I'm only kind of really focusing on chronic illness. I'm not focusing on anything else that's a lot of emotional, that's a lot of other emotional, mental stuff over here. Whereas this, even though chronic illness is a lot of emotional and mental, exhaustion that can play a part, I do really want to point that out. What is the problem with eating disorder treatment and chronic illness management? So here's a few lovely things that I have found. Whenever I finally realized that I needed to get help in this problem was actually bigger. The main concern I had was gastroparesis and mast cell. Trying to explain the medical side was so difficult. Gastroparesis can be caused by an eating disorder. That is actually a cause. If you look up gastroparesis and its causes, an eating disorder can be one of them. It is possible to reverse that form of gastroparesis depending on how bad it may be. However, this is not the cause of mine. It's not making it any better. It's not the cause. I've had a good amount of professionals who have pointed out to me, tell me that my body will heal if I just put in the mental effort. If I put in the effort and if I work on my eating disorder, then my gastroparesis and my POTS will heal and it will all go away. In reality, like I have a connective tissue disorder and I have POTS actually because of damage from an inner ear infection, so like that might actually go away at some point. But because I have the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it may not, and then I have the gastroparesis since I was younger, like it's just a whole mess of things. So it's like I started being told by other like therapists and professionals that some people are actually taught to tell people that some of their medical problems like gastroparesis can be reversed if they work on the mental aspects of their eating disorder, and if they start recovering, then that too will start recovering, not realizing that some people may have these because of other problems. Another thing I did get is to not exercise until I was mentally and emotionally healthy. I understood the point of this. I completely understood. And like, you know, I'm someone who I get carried away exercising. That is something that I do struggle with on the eating disorder voice side of me, because I will really get involved with exercising and I will overexercise and I will get injured because I will overexercise. I feel good. I will suddenly be like, oh my gosh, this is helping my joints so much. But then that eating disorder voice side of me will be like, yeah, but you're losing weight and you're looking good. And yeah, on the medical side of me, it helps so much to keep the muscles built. Being and staying active has been an amazing part for my medical side. Also helps a lot with my stress. Like, again, I do have to watch that because of that, like, eating disorder side. So it was like, I get what they're saying, but at the same time, I was also having a team of people that were just getting annoyed because I wasn't trying enough in my recovery. Every time that these comments would happen, it would just put me down further of being like, I'm not trying hard enough, which has been still the constant thing in my head, because it was like, I just, oh my gosh. I was unable to cut out every ounce of physical activity. That was not something that was going to be possible for me. I couldn't just do that like they wanted me to. It became a legit, like, you need to create a restriction for yourself, but I'm not able to do that because I have to keep my joints in place. I think the biggest thing that I noticed in this is when a recovery meal plan is a balanced lifestyle and gaining a healthier relationship with food and yourself while trying new things. But a chronic illness diet like my own may look like this. I have a list, hold on. A low fat, low sodium, low histamine, little to no processed food, low fiber, wheat-free, no nightshade, and might as well be plant-based diet. If you talk to a lot of people with chronic illnesses, their diets are just, they're so small because of the inflammation that they have to watch out for. This leaves so very little wiggle room for people. This causes the chasing circle of medical, mental, emotional, and physical. It's chasing. It starts to just trigger each other. The chronic illness, the eating disorder, they legitimately trigger each other. And the problem is that people in either field don't even understand this. The amount of therapists that I've tried to explain this to, of being like, yo, there is a medical component here. And they've been like, no, I don't get it. What do you mean? Can't that get better? No. I had a physical therapist that I just recently saw. I really like this physical therapist, and I'm going to continue seeing the physical therapist for my neck. I usually do physical therapy stuff at home, but she did not look at my full charts. That I stay in the same practice for everything. I see a very specific university hospital for like everything. She didn't look at their charts to know that I was diagnosed with an eating disorder. And instead of just skipping an entire little segment that she wanted to talk about, she instead wanted to tell me that I needed to make sure that I stayed active because my metabolism was going to slow down and that I was going to start gaining weight, and I needed to make sure that I stayed under a specific weight to keep pressure off my joints. What? So another thing that chronic illness problem that I have ran into is doctors point out your weight like it is nobody's business. I have dealt with this my entire life. I think I pointed this out in another video too. They point it out as like a means of, are you sick enough? I don't like it. Oh my gosh, you gained 10 pounds and you need to take pressure off of your joints. And that's what I was told growing up, is that I needed to keep my weight under this and I needed to lose weight, and I know some people wanted me to gain weight, and then if I had my weird weight fluctuations as I did as a kid, I would get commented on it by doctors, and that is a problem. So there's no in between. Chronic illness with doctors, they use weight as a means of, well, you gained this and you need to keep pressure off your joints, you need to lose weight. But with an eating disorder recovery, you need to gain that healthy relationship with food and yourself. But where's the in-between? So we're gonna move on from that concept because I'm sure I can turn that into an entire rant. So I'm actually doing a part 2 to this video. And the part 2 to this video is the what have I found to help. You guys will be seeing me wearing the exact same thing, so make sure you click on that part 2 video. It'll be coming out at the end of the week. Alright guys, I will see you soon. Bye!